A tiny 1991p Roosevelt dime worth $32,000 sounds like an internet myth. After all, it's a coin that many people have tossed into tip jars, dropped between car seats, or spent without a second glance. But a handful of extraordinary 1991 dimes have shocked collectors with values that seem completely disconnected from their 10-cent face value. The question is simple. Could one still be hiding where nobody has bothered to look? Treasure hunters usually imagine buried chests, ancient gold, or rare silver coins. The funny thing is that some of the most surprising discoveries happen with coins people see every day. The 1991p Roosevelt dime belongs to that category. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small P mint mark beside the date, these dimes flooded into circulation during a period when America was relying heavily on cash transactions. Millions entered pockets, cash registers, vending machines, and piggy banks. Most disappeared into everyday life. A tiny fraction became something else entirely. Not because they were old, not because they contained silver, but because something unusual happened during their creation. By 1991, coin production was operating on a massive scale. Machines worked relentlessly. Dies struck coins thousands of times every hour. Workers focused on keeping production moving efficiently. When millions upon millions of coins are being produced, perfection becomes difficult. Tiny mechanical failures, worn equipment, misaligned components, unexpected debris. All of these can create errors. Most are caught, some escape, and those survivors become the targets of modern treasure hunters. Every dime begins as a blank metal disc called a planchet. These planchets travel through enormous presses where dies strike the design onto both sides with tremendous force. The pressure is so intense that every detail of Roosevelt's portrait and the reverse design is transferred instantly. Normally, the result is an ordinary dime. But when a die cracks, shifts, wears out, or encounters an obstruction, the coin can emerge looking very different. That's where valuable errors are born. And that's where our hunt begins. At first glance, a die crack may seem insignificant. A thin, raised line appears somewhere on the coin. Many people mistake it for damage. Collectors know better. The line actually forms when the steel die begins to fracture under constant pressure. Each coin struck afterward records that crack. Small die crack examples on 1991p dimes often sell between $15 and $50. Larger, more dramatic cracks can bring $100 to $350. Some advanced collectors actively seek unusual crack patterns because no two damaged dies age exactly the same way. Every crack is evidence of a tool nearing its breaking point. Now we're entering more serious territory. An off-center strike occurs when the planchet isn't positioned correctly before striking. Part of the design misses the coin entirely. The result immediately catches the eye. A minor off-center example might sell for $50 to $120. A more dramatic strike showing 20% to 50% displacement can command $400 to $1,800. Collectors especially love examples where the date remains visible. The combination of a dramatic error and a readable date creates a highly desirable piece. Finding one in circulation today would be a genuine surprise. This is one of the most exciting discoveries a dime hunter can make. A doubled die originates during die production. Certain design elements appear duplicated. Letters may seem doubled. Numbers may show separation. Small details can appear repeated. The effect varies dramatically from one variety to another. Minor doubled die examples often trade between $75 and $250. Strong, verified doubled dies can sell for $500 to $3,000 or more, depending on rarity and condition. Collectors pay close attention to authentication. True doubled dies are valuable because they originate from the die itself, not from damage after the coin was struck. Imagine a tiny fragment of grease or debris landing on the die at exactly the wrong moment. When the coin is struck, part of the design cannot form properly. The resulting error is known as a struck-through. Some examples appear as smooth depressions. Others create strange missing details that seem impossible. Smaller struck-through errors generally bring $30 to $100. Larger, more dramatic examples can reach $200 to $800. Their appeal comes from uniqueness. Every struck-through error tells a different story. No two are exactly alike. Before the coin is even struck, mistakes can occur. Planchets are punched from large sheets of metal. Occasionally, a punch overlaps a previous cut. The result is a blank missing a curved section. After striking, the coin displays a distinctive clip. Small clips may sell for $25 to $75. Large clips with strong visual impact often command $150 to $700. Collectors enjoy clipped planchets because the error is immediately visible. No magnifying glass required. Every dime is supposed to be held inside a collar during striking. The collar creates the proper shape and edge. If the collar fails, the coin expands outward under pressure. This creates a broad strike. Broad-struck 1991 P dimes usually sell between $50 and $300. Exceptional examples can reach $500 or more. The wider. Appearance makes them easy to recognize and highly collectible. Sometimes a die doesn't merely crack, a portion actually breaks away. The missing piece leaves a raised blob of metal on the finished coin. Collectors call this a cud. Smaller cuds may sell for $75 to $250. Large dramatic cuds often reach $500 to $1,500. The visual effect can be striking. Some appear as though a chunk of the coin has melted and shifted. Here's where the hunt becomes truly fascinating. Not all valuable dimes are errors. Sometimes condition alone creates extraordinary value. A common 1991 P dime found in circulation might only be worth face value. A nearly flawless example preserved since the day it was struck can be worth dramatically more. Professional grading services evaluate coins using detailed numerical grades. Each point matters. A coin graded MS-65 may attract interest. An MS-67 commands more attention. An MS-68 or higher enters a different league entirely. At those levels, tiny imperfections become critical. The population of top-grade survivors shrinks rapidly. Competition increases, prices rise, and suddenly a humble dime becomes something collectors battle to own. Most 1991 P dimes will never be worth thousands. That's the honest truth. But a tiny number combine everything collectors want. Exceptional preservation, outstanding eye appeal, certified high grades, rare characteristics, strong demand. When those factors align, values can explode. That's how certain Roosevelt dimes have achieved astonishing auction results and attracted national attention. Not because they were made of precious metal, not because they were ancient, but because they survived in a condition few others could. Matt. So tonight, before you ignore that jar of spare change sitting on a shelf, take another look. A 1991 P dime may seem ordinary, most are, but treasure hunters know something the average person doesn't. The biggest discoveries aren't always hidden underground. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, mixed among hundreds of ordinary coins, waiting for someone curious enough to stop, look closer, and uncover the secret that everyone else missed. And somewhere right now, a remarkable 1991 P dime may still be waiting to be found.